Could you give me like two or three podcasts that you listen to that you think are really cool?
Yeah, so the first podcast I think is probably one of the greatest podcasts I've ever seen or watched or listened to in my life, and that's Business Over Drinks. Simply because of me. I think it is. It is. It is the other guy. Fuck that guy. But me, really good, really good. No, but seriously, it's really real subtle plug there. Business of Drinks, great podcast. I think we've made great strides, and maybe we'll talk about this later. We can give some tips on how we've gotten to where we are. I mean, we have many steps to go still, but it's. I think I'm really loving the podcast. Subtle plug there. Other podcasts I used to listen to the Tim. I used to listen to podcasts much more back in the day when I'd be driving a lot. Now I rarely drive, so I don't listen to them that much anymore. But the podcasts, the two podcasts that come into my mind right away would be the Tim Ferriss podcast. I
Yep.
really enjoyed his interviews back in the day. Nowadays, I can't really relate to his newer guests and the kind of subjects he goes into. But back in the day, I loved his information. And another one was the Millionaire, and I forgot the title. I think it's Millionaire Investors Podcast. I loved it when the two main hosts still hosted it. Nowadays, I think they've kind of branched out and they've hired other people to host certain episodes, and they've really gone into the crypto space. But I love them back in the day when they do book reviews, when they talk about value investing and so forth.
All
So
right. Now
maybe
that's
it's
really interesting. Yeah.
yeah, maybe it's not that useful for anyone listening now, but the Tim Ferriss podcast it still gets a pretty good listenership, really good listenership. I think it could be still relevant for a lot of your listeners too, Tone.
Hmm. Oh, that's fair enough, man.